Step right up. Beyond the threshold of this theme song lies the greatest show you've ever heard. A podcast where the topic is everything our fine specimens can think of. That's right, sit on down and have yourself to listen to Groupcast. At center stage is Casey, creator of the show and part-time llama enthusiast.
Bun in a terracotta pie.
On a soapbox, somewhere in the hedge maze, is Lennon, the comedian with a heart made of video games.
Have you heard the good news?
In the secret library is Tara, whose love for space velociraptors is nearly as intense as her blue hair.
I fucking hate the Powerball.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin!
And welcome to the podcast.
Oh my god, it's another podcast.
It is.
Is it? Is it really?
Could you
I gotta
have guessed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Okay, we got
Yep.
microphones,
Yes.
got people here.
Yep.
Computers, recording,
It
sound.
all adds up. Good one, Columbo. Do you know who Columbo is?
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Tell me you know who Columbo is.
No.
I don't know why I punch every time.
He's a
say
cousin
Columbo.
from
Columbo.
He's a cousin from beautiful Katamari who's covered in hair.
No, he's actually a country down in South America.
I believe you're thinking of
Colombia.
Colombia.
Oh, right. No, Columbo was I don't remember what the years were. Probably late 70s, early 80s. TV detective.
Ah.
He was the one who was always famous for whenever he interviewed a suspect or whatever, acting all like he's only half knowing what he's doing.
Okay.
And then he'd always go, just one more thing, and it would be like the question that just nails him every single time.
Okay.
Yeah, I never watched that show. It sounded boring and stupid.
It does.
It was Matlock for people 10 years under 70.
Right.
Which is 60, by the way. If anybody at home is doing the math.
If you're doing the math,
It's 60.
It's 110%.
Yeah. Columbo and Matlock might be the same person. Actually, I'm not sure.
Every time I come on this podcast, there is a new dumb thing that I said in between then and now.
Is it
What
Columbo?
happened yesterday?
No, it was 110% because I was adding up percentages and I got to 110 without realizing it.
What
60%
percentages
this,
are you adding?
40% this, and 10% this.
Yep.
What were you adding? Were you making meth? Is that... You're being
no.
awfully dodgy about what you were making here.
I don't even remember.
You were talking about your wonderful Bible for teen
Oh,
guys.
yeah, that's right. The Bible for Teen Guys, which we will get to later on. It's 60% common sense, 40% bullshit. No, 60% bullshit, 40% common sense, 10% actual good advice.
It sounds like that math, actually. That describes that math pretty well,
Yep.
I think.
So then, to adjust it properly, 60% bullshit, 30% common sense, 10% actual good
That's
advice.
probably pretty accurate.
So,
But we'll get to that in
we'll
a
get to that
minute.
in a second.
Let's talk Powerball.
Let's not, because I am sick of hearing the words Powerball.
So I got sick of it too, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I work
But
at a
here
gas
we are.
station.
What was that?
I work at a gas station.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And
yeah,
you were put on.
probably didn't
You were
enjoy
put
it.
on
I've been on
lottery.
lottery.
You were
for
on
the last 3
Powerball
weeks.
duty.
Yeah.
We're gonna get those tickets ready.
If you don't know how to play the lottery, don't start. I don't care
Wait,
how high
how
it
do
is.
people not know how to play the lottery? What is this? You give them their money and you get numbers back.
I want a lottery. Actual things people have said to me.
No, and you hand them a ticket. No. That's not what I said.
No,
I don't want
this
your
is
bull. I want my own fucking lottery.
This is a piece of paper. This isn't a lottery.
Like, no, hand me
I want the tiny balls that come out of the
is
janky
this what
machines.
how do I turn this in for a Powerball? Is there? How do I fight other people's Powerballs? Is it like marbles?
This isn't a Japanese kids show
Yeah, exactly.
that sells toys.
This Powerball's 65. He's unbeatable.
Man, you handed me a $20 bill. How many would you like? All of it? Okay, just say it. You don't just hand someone a bill and go Powerball.
Powerball.
Or I want
Are they
lottery.
cavemen? Did you
Apparently.
cavemen play the lottery? Ticket. Powerball.
Ma'am, you have to pick.
Ugh.
You have to pick a number between 1 and 69. 72. Between 1 and 69.
Is that a thing that happens?
Yes.
And you know what's
no.
funny? These are the people who win.
Yeah.
Either that
Have,
or
have we not
millionaires.
known? Everybody who wins the lottery, gets all their numbers, are usually these middle-aged hillbilly white people out of fucking Indiana.
These people are from Tennessee.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
Tennessee, then there's a millionaire out in California.
Yeah,
Who
they all look like that Kim Davis twat.
Yeah.
with the hairdo,
beehive look.
with the hairdo out of both the 50s and the 80s somehow.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know
came
how
back.
that works.
It was just the 50s plus hairspray. That's all
More or
it was.
less, yeah, I guess so. Looking like fucking Duran Duran and I Love Lucy put together, standing next to their husband, who looks like a fat version of the guy out of American Gothic. Is that what the painting is?
Yeah.
The dude with the pitchfork?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a fat version of that guy. He's still in the overalls, and they're going, we spent $50 and we won $30 million. We gonna buy ourselves a hog.
A $30 million hog.
It's like the Beverly Hillbillies every time there's a lottery drawing. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
They take all of their worldly possessions, stack it way high up on a truck,
Yeah.
and go heading out to the west.
Yeah, and Kim Davis is there in the back in her rocking chair as they're driving down the highway. It's fantastic. So did anybody play the lottery here?
I refuse to play the lottery.
Well, that's probably a good idea, to be honest.
So let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because for my 18th birthday, everybody got me scratch-off tickets. I got like 5 of them, and
What?
I won $20.
Whoa!
And I decided.
And you retired
And I
ahead.
decided I won already.
Yeah, you came out
I
ahead
have
and you're
beaten the
done.
system.
More or
My
less?
first try, $20, done.
That's pretty good.
And I don't need to do it anymore.
As a broke college student, I put like $10 towards it just
Yeah.
because it was so high. Because that's still a nice pipe dream.
Yeah.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
I will gladly take even like 1% of that.
Yeah. I spent $10, and after I handed my money to the person and I received a ticket back, in between that time and when I saw the numbers, I kept thinking, who all am I going to give $1 million to if I win this thing? This person gets $1 million, this person gets $1 million, this person gets $1 million. I did not win the lottery completely.
Okay.
I got half the numbers right. On one of my
Nice.
tickets, I had 3 out of the 5 numbers plus the Powerball.
Ooh.
I won $7.
I won.
Isn't that one of the shittiest consolation prizes?
That
I
is
got
pretty bad.
halfway there. The total amount was $1.6 billion, and getting halfway there is 7.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a difference
Yeah.
between the two. I wanted, like, 50. Let's go. I'll settle for 50. That's not half. Like, 800 million is half. I would have had. That's what I think I should have hit, but that's not exactly what happened. Which was a shame too, because when I read the numbers back, because I watched it, I watched the live drawing, and I sat there with the ticket, and I saw, oh shit, I got 3 numbers. I should look up what this payout is. And I looked it up, and the first thing I looked up, unfortunately, was 3 numbers plus Powerball.
Yeah.
And my brain did not read plus Powerball, and I'm like, I won $100. And then I said, my mom was in bed already, and I said, "Do you want me to check yours? By the way, I won $100." I checked hers. She didn't have a fucking number. She spent $10 too. She didn't have one number on any ticket.
Of course.
And I looked back and I said, "What's the payout? $100? Oh, it's 7. Oh, well, this is fantastic.
It's really much like the state version of bingo.
It's state bingo.
It's state
It's
bingo.
country bingo. Powerball's
Yeah,
country
country
one.
bingo.
Yeah, well, there's like 3 states or something. that
Well,
don't
every bingo is
participate.
country bingo.
Well, yeah. That's very true, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard there was a poker player out in California who spent $100,000 on tickets. I don't know if he won anything, but
Well, he plays
well,
poker.
honestly,
Make
that's a
$4
tremendous bet.
Yeah, it really is.
I think that's an
Considering
easy
the
call.
likelihood of winning the lottery is more like you're more likely to die on the way to get the lottery ticket than you are to win the lottery.
Still,
And then there was I don't think I ever told you about this, but back when
fucking American Gothic Kim Davis probably said that too.
Yeah,
But
probably.
now she's a billionaire.
Well, she got lucky.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I won like $100 from playing bingo?
Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
Oh yeah.
That
There
was-
were
that was-
bingo's fun.
Bingo
It
is
is.
fun.
I went last week. Didn't win a fucking thing. I'm
Yeah.
probably not going back. To
I'm
be honest
still
with
up
you.
by like $12. I
That's
think.
pretty good.
So
Did-
again, I've beaten the system.
You're done.
I'm good.
You're done.
Well,
Did
I
we
might
ever-
still play bingo.
Did
I don't know.
Did I ever talk on here about well, first off, my mom and a bunch of her friends go to bingo every single week.
Right.
I don't know if I've told this story before, but here it comes. There was one week where we invited out 2 friends of ours, Connie and Betsy, who are 2 of the most awesome people I have ever met.
Okay.
They are so much fun to hang out with because they are so funny. They'll get you. They'll do those. They'll do the best comedic insults on a person you could possibly hear out of any. But they're so much fun to be around. They're so hilarious. We took them to bingo. They went once. Connie won $1,000.
Oh, wow.
And now they're not coming back.
Yeah.
It's like, you son of a bitch. We've been going for what, 3 years?
That's pretty great.
Oh yeah.
Beat the system.
Exactly.
You're done.
It's done.
I think I used all my lottery luck whenever I was a child, and my dad would have me gamble for him.
Oh,
Because
right.
bonding time was going to the bar and drawing horses or betting on the races. So
Aha.
I'd tell him what to do, and he'd win.
There you go.
So I'd get $5.
Woo.
He'd get like 500.
All right.
Yeah.
Beating the system.
Yeah, it sounds like you got half the lottery numbers right.
You know what they say about kids? They're basically slaves.
It's true.
It is true, actually.
I'm so disappointed we didn't win. This podcast would be so much better if one of us had won the lottery.
We wouldn't be doing this podcast.
We wouldn't? You don't
No,
think?
yeah, we probably would.
Yeah, I think we would.
I have
Just
nothing
with a
better.
lot better setup.
Yes.
Oh yeah. We
Absolutely.
wouldn't be in a fucking basement recording on a 4-year-old laptop with B-rated microphones on top of fucking plastic tubs.
Yeah, see, he calls them tubs. They're not
Totes.
totes.
They're totes.
Hold on. Pause. Excuse me?
Let me describe what this thing is that you have your
Yeah.
It's the plastic storage bins with lids.
Yes.
Yes. Large
You and your
plastic
family
storage.
call them totes.
Isn't that a bag?
A tote is a bag.
It's a bag. It's
Both.
a carrying bag. It's
Or
not
you would
both.
say both.
Carry this.
Both. Yes.
Carry this by a strap. You can't because there's no fucking strap on it because it's not a tote.
Apparently, her mom got pissed that I was surprised that she's called stuffing filling.
No, that's okay. I mean that's like a 60-40 thing. I feel.
Only in this area.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't get out much.
In Lancaster, everybody calls it filling.
Oh,
I've
okay.
always called it stuffing.
Same here.
I never heard my family call it filling until he came to my house.
Yeah.
And we brought up how weird that is. And they're like, oh, yeah, they're filling balls. No.
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 It's stuffing.
Yeah. Huh. I've heard it from a couple different people, probably just within my own family. You know,
Yeah.
it's probably a 60-40 thing.
Yeah. I hadn't heard it before. That's why I was surprised when
Oh,
I first
really?
heard
Oh,
it.
okay. It doesn't bother me much.
It doesn't bother
It
me.
does,
I was
but-
just surprised
Yeah.
when I first heard it.
Yeah.
And also, your stepdad says use guys. Ugh.
Ooh.
Where I grew up, it was yins, guys.
Woo!
That's even. I've never heard that particular.
Oh, that's-
Western
pronunciation.
Pennsylvania.
That's some good old
Western-
some good old Pittsburgh right
Western PA
Yep,
is
Somerset.
a place
Yeah.
you don't want to be.
No.
If you're
Unless you're on the border.
if-
then it's okay.
there. Oh
if-
yeah.
if you're-
Because then you can retreat to Ohio.
if you're
It's
into
not much
if
of a
you're into
retreat.
linguistics, Western PA is the best place ever,
It's a
or
treasure
the
trove.
worst place ever.
It's the best place ever if you want to hear some new shit.
Yeah.
This is Western Pennsylvania is where slang goes to die.
Yeah, it really
I'm
is.
saying.
Or it
and
starts.
and
It
new,
starts and dies.
It's kind of like that scene in the Aliens movie where the alien pops out of the chest,
Yeah.
where the chest is old slang and the alien is new terrible slang that no one else has ever heard of and no one wants to ever hear.
I once saw a modified version of that scene. It's a GIF where instead of an alien popping out, it's the Martians from Sesame Street.
Oh God.
the ones that look like really hairy ball
The yip
sacks. Yeah, those
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Oh, dear.
And he just goes away.
The creativity of the internet knows no bounds.
It's wonderful.
It's kind of like the slang in Pittsburgh.
yeah.
Hey, yins, guys, want to go get some pop?
Oh, pop.
I just say soda pop.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't-
Wanna
I
go take a
recent
dip in the creek?
Oh, yeah.
Crick.
What's the
Awesome games done, Crick.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that a
okay.
little bit. We're
I
gonna
just-
get to
I
that.
also wanna say-
I want to talk about. We have that comedian friend of ours, Tom Sanford, who has an entire
Yes.
bit on the slang across the different
Shove
regions.
the ball down the throats, you fuck you.
He has a bit, like a 3 or 4 minute bit on all the different dialects around Pennsylvania and how different every single one
And
of
it's
them
brilliant.
is. Oh, it's so good. It's such a good bit. I don't remember much about it anymore because
Yeah.
he has since moved away to Maryland, I believe.
Oh,
so
that's too bad.
Had to get away from it.
yeah, now he's going to write a bit on all the dialects around Maryland. I
Yeah.
guess that's
Have Jeeves bring the lobster boat around. That's their dialect.
that's one of them. Yeah,
Hey guys, we're the South. We're the South, guys. Confederate flags. Hey, we're the South.
South. We got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel a little weird about always arguing that point. But at the same time, no. I think if Maryland and Alabama are not the same
The
place.
thing is, it's not a line. It's more like a fuzz.
A fuzz?
A fuzz. I don't know what to call it.
Maryland is where the gray area begins. Yeah.
And it doesn't really hit until like central Virginia.
Okay, I'll go for that.
Yeah, because Virginia's either really nice and liberal, and
you
then you just get smacked with the conservative hell.
Because like you have Arlington, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But south is like Portsmouth.
South
and
is getting
Norfolk.
into the thick of things.
Yeah.
Charleston. Ugh.
We stayed at a very nice portion of Virginia, I think.
Oh yeah.
Good old
Because
Herndon.
we were barely north.
Yeah,
we
that's
we
true.
were barely Virginia, right?
Yeah, it was like just south of DC.
Yeah.
Because that airport is.
Oh yeah, that's the Dulles Airport.
Yeah, it's the DC one.
Very boring there.
Yeah. So we went to AGDQ.
Oh, I got an oh.
Nah, no.
That. Erica would have laughed.
Well, Erica's not here.
She's not here, no.
So we went to AGDQ, and it was a blast.
Oh my god, that was so much fun. I'm working on a video for it right now.
Yes, I'm excited for
I
it.
could probably finish it today if I
And Tara,
really
you
work
watched
on it.
from afar.
Yeah, I was
You did.
kinda
You
there.
donated and gave us a shout out, or
Yeah.
gave him a shout
him
out.
a
I
shout
wasn't
out.
there. Yeah, I didn't count.
It was pretty
It's
great.
okay. I was on stream a couple times.
Yep.
There was one moment on stream where they were setting up for a new game.
Yeah.
And I was just sat down somewhere, was waiting for the next thing to start, and I was like dead center of the stream, and I'm just looking awkwardly at like nothing, and then I eventually just got up and left before the game even started.
Yeah, every time, since I brought my bright green Marvin the Martian hat
Right.
that I wear often,
Yeah.
I was doing dances, and people noticed.
And then some tall dude sat in front of you.
That seemed to happen a lot.
That did kind of happen a lot.
I don't have much
yeah.
torso to me.
No, I found often you were just barely on stream,
Yeah.
and I was just barely off stream. Like, there were so many times where you could just, like, see the stupid Marvin the Martian eyes poking out behind somebody's head, and then I would have to, like, reach over with my arm and that kind of, that dog finger puppet kind of thing, not finger puppet, shadow puppet thing, just
Yeah.
woof, woof, and then I would just retreat the arm back. That was my
There was one
contribution.
point in time where all the people who were sitting at the front right next to the webcam, they
Yeah.
started dancing.
Yeah.
And so everybody started dancing in the chat. Apparently it was like, dance, nerds, dance.
Yeah. What was there was one moment near the end, I think it was the last day where there was a guy sitting up front. Oh, I remember
Yeah,
what
he
it
was
was.
really taking advantage of his
He
screen
was
time.
he had fun, but there was he was on the phone with somebody.
Yeah,
and then he was
blowing kisses.
blowing kisses, and then there was one time he was ready to do it, and they like put they took one of the assets like the ad or something and just
Yeah.
put it over his face real quick.
And it was great.
I know at one point while I was watching the stream, while they were setting up for something, there was this guy sitting beside his bearded friend, and he was just staring into the camera and stroking his beard, just like straight facing.
I missed that. I wanted
pretty
him to
great.
do that. I wanted him to do something like that.
We were seeing the behind section, but
Yeah.
it was pretty cool to because they had two different giant
Projector
screens.
Yeah, of what was going on, so you
Yeah.
can see from each side of the
But
room.
you could also see the couch and the TV that they were
Yeah.
playing stuff on.
I said this in one of the video clips. I don't think it's going to make it into the video, but I said I learned from Bernie Burns of Rooster Teeth. It's really interesting that when you're working with a camera setup, the only thing that matters is what's within that frame of the camera.
Yeah.
Everything else can look like a fucking trash pile, and it doesn't matter if that little bit looks pristine. It's fantastic, and that's kind of what that place looked
Yeah,
like.
it was really-
like what you saw on stream looked really fucking cool. Behind that, there were a bunch of giant lights everywhere. There's wires that stretch from one end of the hotel to the other. There's a bunch of boxes just sitting around everywhere. They
People
got
were
the
sitting on the
free
floor.
setups. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got
It was interesting to see that because I'd been watching AGDQ and SGDQ for 3 years now.
Right.
So to actually see what behind the scenes looks like was
Yeah.
really interesting to see because they had like a banquet table at the very back where a bunch of people on computers were sitting and watching everything, and then you see like the guy who reads out all the donations. He has his own little table and his own
Yep.
like headset.
He's
And
like
that was-
3 feet off camera
Yeah.
from the couch.
He's right next to them.
Yeah.
And they never sound like they look. which
No,
is
they
funny.
really don't. There was one guy who it was sort of a deeper voice kind of thing, and you know,
We've got $100
yeah,
from.
kind of like that guy. And I'm like, wonder what that guy looks like. I look over, and it's like this fat dude with glasses, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, that's not what I expected at all. That's interesting.
And also Spike Vegeta, who is awesome.
He's a very cool dude. I wish I'd gotten a chance to talk
Yeah.
with him at
He's-
all.
Yeah, you see, he was like the host pretty much. He was
Yeah.
mostly in
He kept
charge.
popping up.
Yep.
He's all over the place.
He speedruns.
That
really
little
bad.
dude. He knows everything
Yeah.
about every game.
Yeah, Strider.
Yeah.
He knows everything about every game, Strider. And
That Strider run was fun.
that was really funny to watch. 'cause
I
they're
actually
like,
just rewatched that just to
all
rewatch
right,
it.
so we're going into level 6, Strider, and we're going to.
The whole joke is that Strider is broken as fuck,
Oh, yeah.
and that was his explanation for everything.
And,
so if you'll notice here, our run cycle is 2 frames, Strider.
And we're gonna fight. This guy probably looks a little bit familiar, Strider, and we're gonna fight him again.
You might notice that the boss looks a little unloaded right now, Strider. That's because we came in through the ceiling, Strider. So if we walk just off camera and then back onto camera, he's fixed, Strider.
One of my favorite moments.
And he's dead.
One of my favorite moments was they were singing Disney songs during the Kingdom Hearts
Oh
run.
my god,
Don't they
that
do
was
that every time?
fantastic.
They might. I
think
remember.
they do. I think I remember them doing that.
They
before.
had. It's funny because one of the speedrunners apparently used to be an opera singer.
Right,
The guy who
yeah.
did Gaston and Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty great to see.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I filmed the back of it. Because I wanted to capture that whole thing, just to say that I was there during that.
That was kind of the only reason I watched the Kingdom Hearts run, because I knew they were going to do that.
Because it was
Yeah.
3 hours long.
Yeah,
no,
so I
didn't-
just
fuck
waited
that. Yeah,
to
no.
like listen for it. I was like typing up something.
I stayed there up until the obnoxious underwater section.
Yeah. I still have nightmares
where-
of living with M whenever I hear that.
Where was I? What was
I
going
think
on?
you were in
there?
the arcade.
Probably. I was probably hanging out with Ray Narvaez at the time.
Yep.
It's just so strange to me that I've never, like, I knew about speedrunning, but
Yeah.
I've never heard of GDQ in
Really?
any form.
Oh, okay.
And then this year, I knew of you guys going,
Yeah.
and I was, like, messaging you all the time. But then all of my social media just blew the fuck up with GDQ stuff.
No
I'm like,
kidding.
where the fuck? I've been following the same people for years. Where did this come from?
Yeah, it's really growing in popularity.
It has.
Do we know what the final money count was?
It was $1,212,000.
That's pretty good. Good for them.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I
Actually-
my 10.
Actually, I did not. Here's what I did.
I should have.
Here's what I did. I had $100 set aside to donate.
Yeah.
And I forgot.
Oh, I thought about mentioning something to you. Like, do you have any kind of donation?
So then
Yeah.
I decided, well, I have these $100 that because it wasn't all my money. It was like 50% was from my parents because they're
Yeah.
like, hey, you should get food
Right.
while you're there. And so
We were fine on breakfast and ham.
breakfast. And
That's what
ham.
we lived
That's
on.
what we did. And that was fine.
That was really it. They had a breakfast for us every morning, and we went to that at about 9 o'clock every day. And then about 4 o'clock, one of us would head up to the room and just grab a ham
Yep.
and make a sandwich out of it. And that was it. It was fine.
It was good.
Yeah. We ran on pure adrenaline most of those days, I think.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was going to spend this $100 that was half mine, half my parents for food, but I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to donate instead.
Yeah.
And I got home and I realized, shit, I still have this $100.
What a terrible problem.
I know. So I decided I'm going to donate it anyway, but I'm not going to donate it to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. I saw Tiger was streaming.
Oh.
I donated it to him. Here's what happened. He was doing Mario 64 70 Star and just really having a time of it. Because you met him,
Right.
you know he is exactly as depressed as he looks.
Yes.
Where he's just like, I hate this video game.
Ugh.
I hate this video game.
Like 2 minutes behind right now.
Over and over and over again.
I started 2 minutes ago. I'm 2 minutes behind. I don't know how I did it.
So,
He's a casual.
because he was in the casual room.
Yeah.
And a little bit actually casual. So he was playing this game, and I was like, here we go.
Yeah.
I donated the $100 to him, and it showed up like he has a notification for it.
Yeah.
It does the sound that plays when you get a Jiggy in Banjo-Kazooie.
Nice.
and it said right under that, because I put in a message, "The champ is back" in all caps, and he looks at it, he like makes an O face, like, and he just walks off screen. He walks off screen. He's gone for like 30 seconds. Everybody in the chat is like, "What happened? I missed it." He comes back. He like grabs the desk, like pulls himself up, and he's in tears. And he's like, "Captain donates $100." And
That's so cool.
he was just broken for the rest. He couldn't even speedrun anymore. He was just done.
So I've decided I'm going to start speedrunning because that was so fucking inspirational to be there.
Yeah, it was
I
my inspiration,
imagine
too.
if somebody gives me $5, I think I'll react in the
Well-
exact same way.
One of my streamer friends, the King Chaz, donated $1 to me, and I was like, "What? Somebody donated money? What?"
Yeah,
That's awesome.
You missed the alert, so I was just in chat, and I'm like, "Hey, King Chaz, thanks for the $1 donation."
And I'm like, "What?
What?
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 What?"
I'm trying to decide what my alert sound is going to be.
I love mine.
What is yours?
It's the grabbing
I dropped my muffin.
grabbing the crystal sound from Crash Bandicoot, and Engine saying, "Hey, I dropped my muffin."
That's a good one. I think
The donation sound is the crystal sound, and Cortex saying, "Oh, would you look at that? A present."
that's right. Yeah, and that's very good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one. I don't know what I want to do for a donation sound, but for a follow sound, I really want to have was it Glenn Beck who lost his mind on live TV? Or we'll do it live, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want the sound.
Do it live!
No, I want the sound.
Fuck it!
Fucking shit sucks!
Fucking thing sucks! Yeah.
I think that's the perfect
I
follow
need to come
sound.
up with alerts for
Yeah.
me, because I'm
Because
not
you started
sure.
streaming too.
Yeah, and that first stream was
Oh,
actually
really?
fun. Yeah.
No kidding.
Nuts.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to
After
follow you.
watching that was really, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then you came on my stream, and you're like, "I want to do this now."
That's so
After-
cool, right?
Yeah.
I've done like 3 or 4 with
Yeah.
Casey, and oh my god, they're so much fun. I got more mozzarella cheese dip. So every time that mozzarella cheese dip gets made, I think of when we were streaming that one time, and it was so much
And everybody
fun.
was like, "What are you talking about?"
I know, right?
It was
But it's so good.
it was the,
I love it. It's so good.
It was the guy who was eating cereal every time he showed up in my stream. I forget.
Oh,
his
that's
name.
right, yeah.
Peace and Happiness.
Yeah,
Haven't seen him in a while. Silly Happy Girl showed up to the stream,
cool.
and she talks in one word.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Is she an improv game?
I have
What is
to. I have to decipher what she's telling me. It's weird. It's like, "Hi?"
Well, that's easy.
Stream?
I got that one.
Question mark?
Uh-huh.
What about it? Like, just saying words.
Yeah.
One word at a
She
time.
only has so many keystrokes before
Yeah.
her internet provider charges her, so she can
right.
only type
Gotta
so
make 'em
much.
count.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your money's worth.
Apparently, she is a 21-year-old English teacher in New Jersey.
Oh,
So that was interesting.
bring her to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
She can learn all sorts of English.
Oh dear.
So yeah, you're
Who all did
starting-
we meet when we were there? We
we
met a lot of cool
people.
people.
We met Hypothetical Tiger
It is
for a little
cool.
bit.
Casual but cool.
Yep. We ran into this is a story. We ran into Fi-Fi 30 seconds within getting to the hotel, because
It
I
was
was
pretty
I was
easy.
saying all the way up there, like, Fi-Fi, I have to meet him.
Yeah.
We have
was-
to get him on this podcast
I
we're
was-
trying to put together.
My fun was so ruined by the fact that we ran into him so fast, because I have never met him. I don't know who he is. I've
Yeah.
never seen him before in my life. I'd never heard his voice. I don't watch a lot of Twitch. So my plan was every time we ran into somebody who looked important, I go, "Is that Fi-Fi? Is that him right there? Is that him?" Just to annoy the piss out of Casey. And at one point, he's like, "Is that Fi-Fi?" "Yeah." "Oh."
Yep.
Well, my fun's over
You could
now,
tell
I
it was
guess.
Fi-Fi, because considering he's one of the most popular streamers on Twitch who speedruns, there was like 9 people surrounding him.
And they're all wearing his shirts.
They're all wearing his shirts.
It was pretty easy, actually, to spot him.
My first day that we were spending there, I was wearing the shirt, "Hi, it's me from the internet."
Yeah,
And I
and
thought
that's
that
a
was
cool one.
appropriate.
That's a very cool one.
We also
The
met Pants.
Protect Me cone.
Yeah.
I wore that day one. I ran into somebody else wearing that shirt day one.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, same shirt." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." It's like, I gotta remember these people I'm dealing with here.
Yeah, most of them are not very
These are the
social.
secluded people of the internet. At the same time, though, this was the best fucking community ever.
Yeah.
Everyone was so awesome.
Everyone's really nice.
Everybody who was personable was so cool.
It's kind of how it is with people who are into anything nerdy at all.
Yeah.
It's like you have the really personable, awesome people to be around, and then you have the quiet people who don't know how to interact with others.
Here's where I think the dividing line is. It's the people who do it versus the people who don't.
Who watch it.
Yeah. The people who watch it are the ones who are sitting in the back of the corner playing Magic the Gathering. Oh, I don't want to talk to anybody. I was that person a couple of times, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But there's also the people who have a personality and are famous for a reason.
Yeah.
And, you know, they've got the personality, they know how to interact with people. And they're so much fun to be around.
Yeah, it was pretty funny because we ran into Fi-Fi every day, just passing by him in
All
the
the
hallways.
time.
Yeah.
He started to recognize us.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
Because the day I wore the Fi-Fi shirt, he walked by with somebody, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, I like your shirt, man." I'm like, "Thanks." Oh, hey!
I like the one time when we were just walking out, because it was the day that Hypothetical Tiger showed up.
Yeah.
And we were just walking down our hallway, and we turned the corner by the elevators, skip the story for a second, we walk a little bit further, and there's Hypothetical Tiger, and he goes, "Well, I want to meet Fi-Fi so badly. Let's rewind to what we skipped." As we pass by the elevators, he walks by, hey.
Yeah, he's at the elevator, and we basically
It was like
cock-blocked
5
him.
seconds later, the time we ran into him, and he's like, "I want to meet Fi-Fi." I was like,
Yeah.
well, if you go back in time about 10 seconds, he's right there.
Yeah, Tiger was so starstruck the entire time. He's like, "I want to meet all these people."
We had already been there like 4 days.
Yeah, so we're like,
oh yeah,
we
Ray
know
Barbeas,
everybody.
yeah, he's cool. He's
Yeah.
hanging out over there. We ran into him 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
I ran into him 4 or 5 times. I
met him once.
You ran into him once. I was honestly starting to think that I was running into him as a figment of my imagination, because every time I did, no one else was there.
Yeah.
But when we got there, I'm like, I wonder how long it'll be before I run into him. It was probably an hour.
Yeah,
I bet.
because we saw him taking a picture with somebody.
No, I ran into him before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just walking around, kind of getting used to stuff, and he was just sitting with Tina, his girlfriend, like eating a sandwich. "Hey, what's up? Do a podcast. It'd be cool to have you on it." So hand me the business card, shoot me an email, and I shot him an email, and that's when we ran into him in the hallway.
Right,
and we're like,
okay.
"I shot you an email, cool," and we went our separate ways for a while.
Yeah. Unfortunately, people were really busy there, so we didn't really get a chance.
Gotta wonder how many podcasts were recorded in that place in that week.
I don't know.
We know of at least 2.
Yeah,
I know of at least 2.
Because we
There were
asked
2.
Fi-Fi, like, again, within the first 30 seconds of us being in the hotel, we asked
Yeah.
him. He said he wanted to be on, but he was already on a podcast.
Yeah, I'm a little busy. I got another podcast to do
Yeah.
this week. Ooh.
I tweeted him a bit after that, like, "Do you know what your schedule is?" He's like, "I can't do it."
I discovered on day 2 or 3, nobody knows what their schedule is.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Times were so fluid. A lake is not as fluid as the times at this event.
Which is funny because, well, no, that's still true with even the streaming schedule changed all the time.
All the time. Things would change like 10 minutes earlier. They'd maybe go 15 minutes later, depending on when things wrapped. Something else wrapped up, something else. If setup time went pretty quick. Yeah.
If you weren't paying constant attention, you missed pretty much everything you wanted to see.
I missed a couple things. I woke up at 5:30 or 6, or maybe
see
6:30
Left
to
4
see
Dead.
Left 4 Dead 2, because that's a speed run of that sounded pretty interesting. I got down there; they were already like an hour in.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I missed so much. Still learned a bunch of stuff, but I missed so much.
Yeah.
I should try to speed run that game.
That would be a cool one.
Yeah,
Play that game.
I could do it.
Seeing as Jake hounded us to get
Yeah,
it.
when are we
There-
going to do that? When are we going to be doing our communal Left 4 Dead playthrough?
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to message him about that because he
I
still
need a
wants...
better computer so I can record stuff like this.
Yeah, you should, because it's gonna. I imagine on my brand new shiny laptop over here, it's all gonna work pretty fluidly for me. It just has to, because it's so good. I love it so much. Everything that I thought was my shitty internet at home now works perfectly, and I realized it wasn't the shitty internet; it was the shitty computer.
Yeah.
And now things run so smoothly, and I love this thing.
That's how I felt whenever I got my laptop, but that was like 2 years ago. So now it's like, you're not.
It's a little
keeping
iffy.
up,
It's
but-
kind of Well, this thing's 2 years
But
old.
it's an Asus, which
so.
they're great for gaming, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
I may
Yeah.
need to get an Asus then.
How much do they run?
The one I had was $800,
That's not...
Okay.
and that was
This was
This was $800.
this was $1,000 and it's still running quite well.
Oh yeah, it does a great job.
So, yeah. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
What else do we have for?
What else happened at AGDQ? What was
You
it? Who
played
else did we run into?
We ran into Pants at the same time we ran into Fi-Fi.
Right.
A Canadian speedrunner who speedruns everything.
Yes.
He looked tired,
That
and
could be us.
He probably was very tired.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Coming all the way from Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
We ran into Stivity Bobo, who runs
Yeah.
Banjo-Kazooie. Ran into Joden Stone, who...
Trihex.
Trihex, yep.
Yep.
Does...
Fiesel.
Who's that?
Oh, he's more of an announcer than a speedrunner,
Okay.
but he's a cool dude. I like him. He was playing the piano that they had set up a couple times.
Oh, right.
They had a piano set up in one of the hallways, and anybody...
I taught a
apparently
guy...
except Casey, because it wasn't turned on whenever
Yeah.
it came through. But you just sat down and just played video game music the whole
Later
time
on,
his piano.
we figured
It was
it
so
out.
good.
I taught a guy how to play Song of Storms.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's an easy one, comparatively.
I
but
taught some British dude how to play Song of Storms, and he's just like, I haven't played the piano in like 8 years, and I was like, I'll show you how.
I got you covered.
So we did.
But there were so many cool groups of people that were there.
Oh yeah, I forgot the entire Spyro Crash community basically hung out together.
I noticed that, actually, yeah.
It was Roach, who's number 6 or number 5 in Crash 3, and then there was Steven, who is Saboom,
Okay.
who is number 1 in Crash 3.
Nice.
And I think he's number 1 in Spyro 2 and 3 any percent.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that dude gets around.
He's very good at button input.
But cool.
So yeah, and he's freaking tall. He's like 6'5". I wasn't expecting
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like the most laid back dude I've ever met.
Oh.
And he knew me. Like he recognized my name after I told him what it was.
Oh yeah, and that's pretty cool. That's something
Did you
that
say you ran into
awesome.
a fan?
I did.
yeah.
Silver Altar, who is also a
yeah.
speedrunner.
I've seen him pop up in chat.
Yeah, Silver Altar. Yeah, that's right. He said he berated me for playing Spyro 3 and not 2.
I agree, honestly. I love Spyro 2.
I love them both equally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
but this
cool.
one just seemed more fun to me. So
Okay.
that's why I chose it.
100. Well, I guess it's 100% in both games, or not 100%.
No,
It's not 100%.
no,
it's just
getting the mini
things.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silver Altar recognized my voice, and that's
pretty cool.
Yeah, he just turned around and was like, "Hey, I know you," and I was like,
See, hopefully I get that next year when we go.
"Yeah, I'm getting."
There's no if shit going on here. There's a when.
Hell, I want to go next year.
Tara
Yeah.
and I were considering, not saying this is going to happen, but we were considering
SGDQ.
driving to SGDQ.
Where is it?
Minneapolis, July 3rd through 9th.
That's a 1,089-mile drive.
Ooh.
15 hours.
Ooh.
But like I said, not necessarily going to happen, but it's a
Right.
possibility.
You'll
Definitely
figure it
not
out.
flying there.
You'll
Definitely-
figure it out.
Oh yeah, we
probably
looked
May.
up flying prices.
Basically
Yeah.
$600 for two
From-
people.
Yeah,
Okay, that's probably about what I would have expected.
I.
See, if I knew all the airport ins and outs, I'm sure there's a way you could do it pretty cheap.
Yeah, it'd
Probably.
probably just
I don't
be
know
really
that shit.
cheap connecting flights, like the little $50 ones.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. No,
But who knows that? Yeah, no.
I'd prefer, unless I absolutely have to, I'm not going to fly.
Yeah.
Because
no.
the prices are ridiculous.
Of course.
I have no fear of flying, especially since I, flew, 4 different times, continental trips, when I was, 2.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, I got to fly last month in a helicopter.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Lifeline. That was
Ooh,
fun.
that's cool.
Yeah, because my little brother swallowed a battery. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. They were just like, oh, I've only ever been in a 2-seater plane.
He's 12. It's really not...
8, actually.
Oh,
but
shit.
autistic. So,
Oh, okay.
But,
Well, now my joke's not funny anymore. Thank you, Tara.
You're welcome. I just
Now I
wanted
look
to
like
make
a
you seem like
dickhole.
an asshole. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to try.
No,
Oh,
yeah, I can do
get
that
that on
myself.
its own.
I do that myself. It's easy. Real easy.
Yeah.
The arcade was cool. I like the
That
arcade
was.
setup.
I could have spent so much time in
I
there.
heard that you kicked his ass at one game in particular.
Basically
Really?
every game. Bishi Bashi and
Puzzle Fighter,
and the Puzzle Fighter.
which was basically like a Tetris Street Fighter
I didn't.
kind of thing.
I realized.
I'm really
now
good at those kind of
but
games.
I didn't
so.
like it because it wasn't like Tetris or Bejeweled or something.
Okay,
like that.
yeah.
Since you had to wait for bombs to show up,
Yeah, bombs of a certain color, and you drop them on that color, and
Yeah.
it blows up all that
I felt like that
stuff,
was kind of bullshit. Only because it's a little bit luck based. when you
sort
get
of,
those.
I guess.
You have to know the game well, or at least be good at it.
Well, I think both sides drop the same tiles
Did they?
in the same order.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It's just the person who goes faster is a little bit ahead, you know.
Well.
But yeah, this Bishibashi game was fucking weird.
Those games are fun.
It was
Just
described.
not when you're playing.
It was described as Japanese WarioWare,
Which is exactly
if
what
anybody
it
can
is.
wrap their head around that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know the button mashing games.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I had down. But everything else where you had to like.
Yeah, all it was just 3 buttons and having to hit them in certain ways, depending on what minigame you were doing.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun, actually.
It is really fun, but playing against you and your clone, as far as how
clone?
your clone, because he was almost exactly as good as you were.
Which guy is this?
I don't remember. It was just some guy.
Oh,
who
just
showed up.
when we play? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I felt super inferior. I was like, this game is not fun.
It was tough, man. I played with Ray a couple times.
Yeah.
And
He's good.
I think it was the second time that we ended up playing together. He didn't go through a continue, which was very hard to do because it rated you, all 3 players, together. So if somebody sucked ass, usually everybody then lost.
Yeah.
So, to not use a continue is pretty tough. And then we played the next time over, and he didn't even take a life loss. We played a perfect game. It was incredible.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were playing so well at one point that the game was fired up its difficult mode, basically, where it's like, oh, you're winning? No, go fuck yourself.
And then you beat that, and
We ended up beating that, and then it decides, oh, really? That wasn't hard enough? How about you go fuck yourself again? And it ratchets it up a second time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we spent a lot of time in the casual room after Tiger got there, and that was really interesting. It made me realize next time we go, we need to bring consoles.
Yeah.
So we
need to speedrun shit. Is what we need to do. I think.
Well, I do speedrun shit. I'm just not.
You didn't then.
It's true, but I was.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And I didn't go up or down any place. I'm still 35th in Crash 3.
No kidding.
Yeah, I can hold
Did
my
the community
title.
just stop? Like, what?
Actually, kind of yes.
Yeah? No kidding.
Yeah, the people lower down are like, oh, hey, it's Crash 3. I'm going to try speedrunning this. And then the people at the top are like, fuck everybody. Because I think I told you
What a community.
The conspiracy about Ski Craze Teddy and about how he ruined everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
He made... Oh, man, Roach is pissed. Roach is pissed.
Why don't you talk about what he did? Or what he
so,
does?
So, Ski Craze Teddy, as we've mentioned before, is a Crash 3 speedrunner. He
doesn't like to talk.
He doesn't like to talk. And he refuses to play on console, even though he has the ability to do so. Yeah. He only uses a very specific emulator that he modified. And
shouldn't that be not legal?
Well, the person who is definitely in charge of verifying is Solar Bowler. And Solar Bowler sits on his little island of criminals, Australia. I'm just trying to make him out as
it's accurate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make him out as much of a douchebag as he can possibly be, because he kind of is.
All right.
And he's really the only person who verifies runs anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's also Kane of Patchy, who I told you looked like Barry.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Kane of Patchy is like 9th place or something like that.
All right.
He also verifies runs, but he told me and Roach while we were talking about this whole thing that he doesn't have any say anymore. So it's really just Solar Bowler, or Rabbit as he used to be called.
Okay.
So Ski Craze Teddy got upset that people were accusing him of cheating, basically.
Which I kind of agree with, based on
I
just
agree
what I've
too.
heard, yeah.
I think he's cheating. He's 6th place right now with this emulator that he's not authorized to use.
Yeah.
Especially,
I think that right there is kind of the end of the...
I really wouldn't mind as much if he weren't refusing to use a console.
About it? Oh, okay.
And also that, yes.
Yeah.
So he basically thought he was being cyberbullied. So he sent a...
He's being a cyber twat. That's what he's doing.
So he sent a bomb threat to the hotel, and they're like, ha, no. Fuck you, you're not coming here.
Yeah.
And if we see you, we're kicking you out.
Yeah.
So he didn't end up going.
No kidding.
And he kept messaging me like 3 months before, like, hey, can I room with you? And I was like, no, we're full up.
Yeah, no. I knew as soon as we met him at that thing last summer. Like, I don't like this guy.
I don't like him either. Especially because every time I come back to the community or I get a PB or something, he's like, You could save so much more time.
That ain't nothing.
Yeah. He's like, you suck, basically. He's not saying that outright, but he's basically saying, you can save like a minute. Did you know that? And then I save a minute, and he's like, you can save a minute. Did you know that?
It's just inspiration, Casey.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He's trying to inspire you to do better.
It's inspiring me to punch him in the face.
That too. That's what cyber twats do.
Yep.
I don't know that we're going to have time to get to this atheism thing.
Then can I at least share my, the things that I had collected? Because they're really funny.
Oh, yeah sure.
Yeah, I just want to switch gears real quick. And we mentioned 2 weeks ago...
I can't believe we talked about AGDQ for like a half hour
I knew
or
we
more.
would.
I figured we would too.
I knew that was coming. I'm just glad I was able to contribute something.
We should have allotted a time.
It's all right.
It was just so much fun. Like, there were so many times where I was just walking from one place to the other.
Yeah.
Usually, because that hotel was long.
It
was a long hotel, much more than it was
It was
tall.
basically just a big circle.
It was 3 floors. It could have been 6 if they had just cut it in half and moved a half on top.
Pretty much.
Of the other half. It would have been a perfectly normal hotel, but no, it was a very long hotel. So you really had to walk, a lot of time from one place to the next. And there were so many times where I was just walking down like the hallway by myself. And it was the first time that I was just kind of a little bit isolated, and it was kind of just focused on myself. Yeah. And I could my heart was just going crazy at the time. Like, whoa!
Yeah, like, here I am.
Yeah, whoa!
This is
double what my heart rate should be right now. What was in that bacon? What is? Am I dying right now? What is happening?
Yeah, there were some halls to get to play one place to the other.
Yeah.
But that didn't bother me.
Yeah.
So I have here, I mentioned 2 weeks ago on my last podcast, the Bible for Teen Guys, which is what this is. It's full of...
Boy.
It's a Bible, but it's also full of commentaries. Like, they all take up one page.
Okay, gotcha. Little commentaries.
And there's all, like, little bits of things.
Yeah.
Like, this one just says, scheduling time to pray. I'm just going to read this.
Okay.
With your busy schedule, how much time do you have? How much time do you carve out for prayer?
Is this a terrible infomercial?
20 minutes a day? 10 minutes?
Can you... Hold on. I want you to reread this as a terrible infomercial.
Okay.
Let's hear this. Let's hear this.
With your busy schedule, how much time do you carve out for prayer? 20 minutes a day? 10 minutes? The Bible doesn't give us precise figures on how long or how often we should pray.
There's just not enough time.
David seemed to like 3 a days,
Cue someone
evening,
falling down the
morning,
stairs.
noon. Make prayer a part of your regular schedule. Give it the same priority you give to working, going to school, studying, exercising, or anything else scheduled on your daily calendar.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a terrible infomercial right
Yeah,
there.
it really is.
Just call this number.
I like how they included studying in there.
Yeah.
Like, people actually make time for that.
Yeah, that's a thing that people do. Sure.
So I have
Maybe religious people.
I have my list of different things I have to... I'm going to start with this one because this one's really funny.
Cool.
It's 60 of Satan's favorite lies. I'm going to pick out my favorite of these.
I almost want to hear all 60.
Well, some of them are like common sense and general advice that I told you about.
Okay.
That makes me think of the one joke that goes around the internet. Jesus may love you, but Satan does that thing you like with his tongue.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's hear this.
Okay, Satan's favorite lies. Number 1, the universe is just a fluke. It doesn't prove anything about God. Number 10, Christians are prudes. They think sex is dirty.
They do.
Yeah, I don't think... Are these just... Okay.
Number 20, water. Number 20,
What? How does it work?
when things don't work out between you and your wife, just get a divorce.
Yeah?
That was taken, like... That just went from straight...
There's a lot of
Christianity to
these...
Catholicism.
When you read these, there's a lot of these I have to remember. These are being read as lies.
As lies.
Yeah.
Number 33, why give up a life of fun just to follow a bunch of dumb rules?
Good question. Actually, yeah.
Number 44, oral sex isn't wrong because it isn't sex.
Well, the first part's true.
Yeah. Yeah, they got half right on
Number
that.
56, life is supposed to be easy.
I don't think... If anybody says that, they've got a problem.
Yeah, well, apparently Satan has a problem. Doing whatever it takes to make a lot of money is fine as long as you don't share it as long as you share it with some of the people who need it.
Wait, what? Say that again. Hold on.
Doing whatever it takes to make a lot of money is fine as long as you share some with the people who need it.
Okay.
Pornography doesn't hurt anyone. Besides, it's better to look than actually do the deed. There was also one that said something like, doing good things will get you into heaven.
Right?
That's not true. But that's not true.
Right? Because there's no heaven.
Which reminds me of a story.
Oh,
a quick story. One time, because let me preface this by saying, I was a Christian for about 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
And one time, and they said some really out there shit. That
No way.
I never really bought.
I never guessed.
Yeah. Like, even, like, my brainwashed state of the girlfriend at the time being like, he, come over to their church and worship with us. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna feel you up later.
Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Let me touch some boobs. Whatever you say.
Pretty much.
All right, boobs, Christ, then boobs, right? That's the order here. I could go the other way if you wanted to. Boobs and Christ. That's cool. Whatever.
That was pretty much it. I'm not gonna apologize.
If it wasn't for the super long AGDQ talk, I would love if our episode was titled Boobs and Christ.
Boobs and Christ. But yeah, at one point, the pastor made the assertion, Hitler could have gotten into heaven if he just would have apologized first.
Ooh, right. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. A lot of people would agree with that statement.
If Hitler would have said, you know what? That stuff I did was wrong. I accept Jesus into my heart. He would have gotten
done.
heaven.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all you need. Except it's not. But it is. But it's not.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. None of us here are Christians.
No.
Just so you all know.
No.
Let's see. Let's read.
An atheist, an agnostic, and a pagan record a podcast.
Walk into a bar.
I had people show up at my door yesterday.
Oh, really?
I did. I thought it was the most awesome coincidence ever. That
Jehovah's
we were coming
Witnesses?
here to talk about this,
Oh.
and I had people show up. It was so much fun
There's
because
also-
I actually debated with them a little.
40 ideas for a fun date. Only a few.
Do nothing.
Only
Nothing ever.
only
No
if-
boobs. All Christ all the time. No boobs.
Only a few of them are actually stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I didn't pick that out.
Oh, all right then.
So this is Professor Pagan.
What? What? Huh? What? What? Hold on.
That's unneeded.
That's what my talents are needed. It's a Q&A. Well, not really Q&A, but
It's a fake
it's a
interview.
back and forth between two different people.
Yeah.
How's it going? So far, so good, except for my U.S. history class. Why? What's the deal? It turns out my teacher, Mrs. Richardson, is about as anti-Christian as you can get. She thinks religion is a crutch for weaklings. She even got one of those Darwin fish on her car. I'm telling you, this woman is whacked. No matter what we're talking about, she always finds a way to go off on some rant about the church. At least you only have her for 1 semester, right? Yeah, but it could be a long 4 months. See, she did this exercise on the first day of class where she read off this long list of agree-disagree statements. And now I see why she did it. She basically wanted to find out who her Christian students were, so she could spend the rest of the semester bashing them. She bashes you? Oh man, does she ever.
With her fists.
Me and 2 other people.
Or boobs. All Christ, all boobs.
You're
Boob
really gonna
Christ.
push that, aren't you?
Boob Christ.
Alright. Me and 2 other people. Every class. Mostly she makes all these snide little remarks. And you should have seen what she did with my first essay. I wrote 500 words, and I'll bet she wrote at least 2,500 words in the red in the margins. I got a C- because of flawed reasoning, which basically means they disagree with her beliefs. What are you going to do? I'm just going to stick it out and try not to let her push my buttons. I've actually started meeting with the other 2 Christians taking the class. We get together and pray before class once a week. For her and for ourselves. That helps a little, but it's still pretty awful.
And then she comes out of the shadows. Nerds! Ganondorf? What? That's her hitting him with her boobs. Yeah.
There's also a small commentary, which is what I'm going to read most of the time. I'm not going to
Okay.
read these back and forth,
Right,
because they're not
yeah.
as interesting. When you're dealing with someone who is antagonistic about Christ, it helps to remember that your real struggle is not against that person, but against the one the Bible calls Satan, or the devil.
It also helps to
See
remember
Ephesians 6:12.
that you're not the only fucking person in this world. And other people think different
He
things.
is also the one who has blinded the minds of unbelievers so that they cannot see the light of the gospel.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's not always easy, but Jesus calls us to love those who try to make our lives miserable.
Yep.
Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven.
She wasn't talking so badly.
Just wait, I'm almost done. Trent has chosen a wise course of action. Prayer, patience, and perseverance. Who knows? Maybe down the road in a one-on-one meeting, Trent's attitude will open up a door for him to share his faith. He can be sure that Mrs. Richardson and his classmates are watching closely to see how he'll respond. To see just how real, how genuine this Jesus thing is.
No, it's not what they're watching for at all.
Go on.
This Jesus thing,
Yeah.
first of all. Then, what was it? They have blinded the...
Has blinded the minds of unbelievers so they cannot see the light of the gospel.
Ah, yes, because I'm totally blind, and that I can't see that all of these bullshit rules that make no sense.
If you're an unbeliever, why do you have to be blinded to it? That's my question.
Like... Oh, man.
Now...
Christianity makes no sense.
No.
I like the concept of, being nice to people for once.
Well, yeah,
But that's about as far as it goes.
but you don't need a God for that.
The golden
You
rule
did when the
exists in
Bible
every
was
single
written.
religion and most ways of thinking.
I think the Bible was one of the best philosophy books that was ever put together.
absolutely.
Because it was put together at a time where there was not much of a universal moral code.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a God was put in there to terrify people into following a moral code.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
But then the God that they created was so flawed. Like, oh yeah, he's perfect.
Nobody cared about that.
He killed like 600 people.
Clearly that
He
doesn't
He
matter.
created man in his image,
Well-
but men are so fucked up.
When you think about
Not
how
Satan's
many...
fault, not his.
When you think about however...
But that was his plan. It was his plan to make Satan make everybody fall, but not his
He's
fault.
not gonna fix it.
Not his fault.
Well, here's the thing. If you think about
God's gonna
how...
God's gonna get you.
How long ago this was written, I think the only emotion you could play off of to get people to do stuff about this was complete fear of being smitten,
Yep.
smote,
Here are...
smoten.
Smotten? Yeah, that's the word. Here are 40 adventures you can live.
40 what?
40 adventures you can live.
God.
Number one.
God.
Wait, now. Which one is
Number one's
Two.
God. I'm
Number
gonna
two.
love
No, number one's like actual...
it. Oh, okay.
Okay. This one I love. This one you'll love too. Fill a box with anything that is an idol in your life.
All right. Starting off with fill a box. I'm already out. I'm checked out. Nothing good involves filling a box unless you're moving. I think that's the only
that's
thing.
not good,
Yeah, even
usually.
that sucks.
Yeah, you would know, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Wait.
Fill a box. Go
Fill a
on.
box with anything that is an idol in your life. Pornography, raunchy movies, video games,
A Bible.
ungodly music, and have a bonfire.
Yeah.
Ask God to help you resist the temptation to fall victim to those idols again.
And don't forget to burn your
Don't
Bible.
forget to burn your
Yeah. Don't forget that one. That's the most important one, actually.
Number 10. Get on the internet and find out what's going on in a country you don't know much about. Pray about what you read and find ways that you can help.
The beginning part of that is actually pretty solid.
Yeah. And then the part where it's like, you should just pray to make sure those people are okay.
Yeah, that'll just take care of everything. All you gotta do is go like this with your hands. All the world's problems will go away.
Number 20. Make a list of your biggest goals for the next 3 years of your life.
Pray? Yeah.
Pray
no
about
shit.
each one
No
and
fucking
ask
shit.
God to show you
Yeah.
his timing.
No kidding. Read off one of those that doesn't have the word pray in it. How about that?
Write a letter to the local newspaper editor and address a moral issue in your school or town.
All right, you win.
That one's okay.
That one's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, some of them are fine.
Yeah, some of them are fine. That is both the redeeming value of the Bible and what I hate about it the most is the fact that it's not wrong 100% of the time because it's a book of fucking common sense morals.
This one's pretty funny. Number 12. Go watch a high school wrestling meet and think about Jacob wrestling with God. That's all it says.
What in the motherfuck does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
But remember, let Jesus come first.
Well, yeah. like that picture we saw where it was like the school dance from a Christian school or something, and it's like, make sure you have one Jesus length in
save
between
room
you.
for Jesus.
Yeah, make sure you're apart one Jesus length away.
Apparently Annette's parents, granted jokingly, said that to Jake.
Oh yeah.
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 Do me a favor, read that one again. I want to hear that one again.
Go watch a high school wrestling meet and think about Jacob wrestling with God.
It's about to get gay up in here.
No, it's not. Not in here.
Not
Not
in this
here.
book. Not in this book.
It is about to get polygamous, though.
Woo!
Polygamy's fun.
Because that's what happens.
Right,
That's
yeah.
what happens in here.
Naturally.
Number 15. Make a covenant with some close buddies to stay away from porn. A covenant.
Good old D Club.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, more or less.
Number
yeah.
30. Pray about giving a big chunk of your time or money to your church.
Just pray about
Just
it.
pray.
Don't actually
Yeah,
do it.
no, I'm okay with
That's
that one.
basically-
No,
yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's fine. Yeah, leave that one as is. Wording, perfect.
Now I have to go on to one about gays.
Oh, shit.
I've already read these
I
two.
just like that transition sentence right there.
Yeah, now I have to go on to the gays.
I mean, I already know I'm a heathen,
It's true.
but let's just add to the list.
This ought to be fun.
Where is it?
We're leafing. We're leafing. Still leafing.
Still leafing.
Currently leafing.
So much leaf.
Filth?
Oh,
Is that the title
It says
of that?
Ruth.
It looks like filth.
It does, but it's not.
it's Ruth. I don't
All
remember
right.
the book of Ruth. I don't know.
This
Is that one
one's
of those
just
long
this,
lost Bible books?
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 Yeah, there's a lot of weird ones like Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that are like 3 pages long.
Yeah.
Anyway, this one's called Out of the Closet. Guilty by association. Homosexual behavior is wrong. No question.
Hold on. Guilty by association.
That's the subtitle.
What?
Are you gay by
what?
proxy?
Yeah, let's.
I'm starting to think I'm getting that.
I already know you know the answer because it's your fucking book. Tara, what do we think that is going to mean? Guilty by association.
If you have gay friends, you're fucked.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
Or you're gay too.
Yeah.
I can't remember if this one's the good
It
one.
spreads.
I can't remember if this is the good one or the really good one.
Get up,
Can't
come on,
deny
get
my
down with the sickness.
gaze. Come on, Sarge. You can't deny my
Hit it.
penetrating eye contact. My gaze.
Ha! That's funny.
Okay, anyway, homosexual behavior is wrong. No question. Despite some creative... Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you are going to hell. Despite some creative attempts by certain gay activists to reinterpret the Bible, arguing that it's neutral on the subject or even supportive of the gay lifestyle, Scripture is clear that the God-ordained norm for human sexuality is one man plus one woman for life. Period. No exceptions.
I agree with that so far. I agree with that's what the Bible says, hands down.
Yes, what the Bible says.
You
yes.
looked at me a little weird. I had to clarify.
Both testaments declare homosexual behavior to be sinful. And it even points out where you can find those things.
Mm-hmm.
But notice this about 1 Corinthians 6 in particular. The same passage that condemns homosexual behavior equality condemns theft, greed, and trash talk. Most Christians don't seem to get as worked up over those behaviors. Why not? Remember that the Bible is clear about God's response to those who are guilty of any sin. He loves them. He cares for them. He wants to change them.
He'll
and
damn you for all eternity.
And he wants to be deeply involved in their lives. God never condones sin.
He's like
calls,
a creepy uncle.
He calls it what it is.
Bad touch, bad touch.
But he also offers every person, gay or straight, forgiveness and freedom from sin.
Because those are the only options. Gay or straight.
So before you walk away from a friend who's struggling with his sexuality, spend some time thinking about how Jesus dealt with sinners. If you need any help, try reading Matthew 9:9-13 and Luke 19:1-9.
And then pray about it.
And then pray
And
about
then
it.
pray
Your
about
friend is in the closet. Just think about how he's going to spend the rest of eternity in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is exactly what that just
Were you
said.
on the episode where I talked about the thing that somebody gave me at Halloween? That was like, pray before going to Halloween or you're going to burn in hell?
No.
And it was like...
That was 2 weeks ago.
That was the 2
Yeah.
weeks ago one. I'll recap very quickly
Yes,
for you then.
please
It was
do.
like this little tiny pamphlet thing that somebody handed
Oh,
me.
I
Or like a
love
little
getting
booklet
those.
kind of
I get
thing.
those all the time at work.
Yeah. And the one kid doesn't want to pray before he goes out to Halloween. He gets hit by a car, and it's very graphic, to be honest with you. And then he burns in hell. And that's only the first half. The second half is the rest of his friends back at the house crying that he's dead, and the parents just going, "Nope, he's in hell forever." It's fucking terrible.
That is pretty bad.
If I remember correctly, like his eye was out, I think, or something like that.
Gotta scare those people. Into
Exactly.
submission.
Exactly.
In reference to that, I am not a Christian and I am not straight. And what the hell? That's...
So this one is the better homosexuality commentary.
Okay.
The Straight Scoop.
That
Okay.
might be effective.
Somebody
That's a
spent
chisel.
like 5 minutes thinking about that.
In a letter to the Christians in Rome, written more than 19 centuries ago, the Apostle Paul made it clear that our human sexuality is a God-given identity, and God intended it for it to be expressed between one man and one woman within the covenant of lifelong marriage. Paul also made it clear that what we do with our sexuality, that is, our sexual behavior, is something that we can control.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. With God's help. Doing things with our bodies and minds that are contrary to God's design is sin. But like all other sin in our lives, God extends his forgiveness and gives us the strength to resist temptation if we accept his offer.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta pray the gay away.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with your sexuality, know this. God loves you. He's not indifferent to your struggle. Ask him to help you control your mind and body. His Holy Spirit can work to shape and strengthen you in those areas of your life that you still need to surrender to him. If necessary, seek out the support of a trusted Christian counselor.
You know the I don't want to, it's not an expression, but like the idea that the more somebody drills a single point, like the less true it probably is. Mm-hmm. Did you ever notice how many times in books like this it says, "Remember, God loves you. Remember that." He does. Don't look at me like he does.
It's funny because...
Seriously, guys, he does.
It's funny because in this, like, beginning part, in the Old Testament, for example,
mm-hmm.
God hates you.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And still, the commentaries in the pages are like, remember, he's doing this because he loves you.
Remember, he does, damn it. Now, I didn't say damn it just now. Just,
Darn it!
he loves you. Like they're believing it less.
Smudged writing on hand.
Yeah.
He
loves
loves
you.
Okay, I got one more for you. I'd love to be able to tell my stories too, but we're
I don't
running
know
out
that
of time.
maybe post show.
Maybe post show. We can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's called Guerrilla Warfare.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's spelled gorilla, not like gorilla, but gorilla. The ape gorilla. It's about evolution.
Oh. Okay.
You thought it was going to be an actual gorilla
Planet of
warfare.
the Ape shit.
No,
in the
I
middle of
did
the Bible.
not. I did not. I thought something different that I will keep to myself.
Okay. No, come on, what is it?
No, never.
Why?
Never, because it's awful.
Go on.
It's Fred thinking.
Go on.
No.
No.
No. Hit it. Read it. We don't have time for this shit. Read it.
Okay, fine. Whatever you may think about the origins of the universe, some things are clear. Biblical fact. The first sentence...
That's the clear thing, number one.
Biblical fact is an oxymoron.
Right.
The first sentence in the Bible declares God to be the creator of the universe. If we say we believe the Bible, we have to accept this claim.
Is good.
If we believe the Bible...
If we believe the Bible, then the Bible is true.
Yep, that's basically. Philosophical truth. The elegant design of the universe argues powerfully for the existence of an intelligent architect. Architect is capitalized.
Oh no.
Of course it is.
Would anyone honestly conclude that a complex sentence found written in the sand at the beach was the work of a random waves and wind?
Could be.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yep.
It's horribly unlikely.
Remember the Library of Babel that I shared?
Oh my god, that thing is magic.
Yeah. Scientific reality. A small but growing number of respected biologists, physicists, and chemists are beginning to embrace the idea that however and whenever the universe came into existence, there had to be an intelligent force bringing it all together.
Absolutely not. They are absolutely not doing that. In fact,
No.
I believe the complete opposite is
There
true.
are only a handful of actual renowned scientists that even believe or support intelligent design.
Yep.
Because it is absolute fucking bullshit.
Garbage. Put it in the trash.
True science is not something we should be afraid of.
Well,
Correct.
that's true.
Yeah.
Good, honest
the
science...
right people who have this book are reading that sentence.
Yeah. Good, honest science uncovers truth that's consistent with the Bible.
No.
Nope. Done. I'm checked out. I'm out.
Many of the greatest scientists in history, people like Copernicus, Kepler, Galileo, Kelvin, Isaac Newton, Robert Boyle, and Gregor Mendel,
Correct.
were devout believers who found no contradiction between their spiritual beliefs and their academic quests.
Because it really didn't exist yet.
Yes.
And because they went off of the actual Bible, not the modern translations.
And Galileo
that
was
too.
put
I
under
never thought
house
of that
arrest.
Yeah.
Galileo was put
that
under
too,
house arrest
yeah.
for doing things like
Yeah.
They were trying
Yeah.
to figure out how the universe works, not why it was created.
Yeah.
Giordano Bruno was burned at the stake because he thought the universe was infinite.
Yeah. Exactly.
Notice that they didn't mention like hardly any modern scientists.
Yeah, no,
because-
only the first people.
And now that all that murder shit is illegal, where is God now?
The science we need
Not
to be
in our
wary of
schools.
is biased science, which is based less on real evidence and more on atheistic presuppositions.
By proxy, yeah. Yeah, because that's how shit eventually works out. The more you learn, the more shit you realize, probably not quite accurate what this book is telling me right here.
Yeah.
Now, here's the worst part about this whole conversation that we're having.
Yep.
Because we were so pressed for time, we were just going to make fun of everything religious in that book,
Yep.
and now the podcast is over.
Yep.
We don't have a chance to kind of mold the opinions whatsoever.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
We spent too much
Now
time.
we just look like assholes.
Yeah, pretty much. But hey, join us for the post show.
Join us for the post show.
We'll discuss more of this.
It's
I
up. Go
suppose.
to our YouTube channel. YouTube. What's the address again?
It's Groupcast Network.
Groupcast Network.
But
That is correct.
Nation also works.
Don't forget to also like our Facebook page, Groupcast Network.
Yep.
Nation. Do
Nation.
both work?
It's just Groupcast.
Oh, it's just Groupcast?
Yep.
Well, I gotta learn this shit. I gotta write this shit down so whenever I'm reading this stuff off, I actually know what the hell we're talking about.
Should we say what we're doing next week?
Or just leave it
Probably.
for next week.
Probably.
Next week is our last show ever.
It sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of. I think we'll talk more about it next week.
Yep.
But we will say that next week is the last episode of Groupcast.
Groupcast.
It's something that we've been talking about for like a month, I think.
At least.
It's something like a month.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that whenever. We'll get into it next week. All your questions will be answered next week. If you have questions, send them to us somehow
Yep.
on YouTube,
Facebook, YouTube, email us at groupcastnation.
yeah, whatever. If you have anything like that, because we have plans. We actually have plans. We're not falling out entirely, you know.
Yep,
but
we'll see.
we're doing stuff. We'll tell you all about it next week. So don't miss that episode because we're gonna talk all about it.
Until then, say goodnight, everybody.
Oh.
Oh.
And that's where that ends. But leave it because we're post show.
Good night, everybody.
Post show.
Yep.
Yeah.